Welcome to Take 5, your 5-minute inspirational message from Solid Rock Drogheda. Columbanus was a leading figure in the early Celtic church. He was born in 543 AD in Leinster, so he's actually from the Republic today, I guess you'd say. And he died in Bobbio in northern Italy. But in between that birth and that death, he lived an amazing life. When he was born, his mother had a vision that told her child had an exceptional genius, and that was certainly true. He wrote a commentary on the Psalms as a young man and ended up studying at Bangor Abbey in County Down. Now, actually, you can still visit Bangor Abbey, but none of the original buildings from the time of Columbanus remain now. As with many of these ancient sites, they were destroyed and burnt down and rebuilt and suffered many privations and invasions and all kinds of stuff. But there at Bangor Abbey, Columbanus was famous for setting up something called the Lois Perennis, which means perpetual prayer. And basically he set up choirs that would be in shifts, one after the other, to worship the Lord 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And it's reputed in particular that at Bangor Abbey that it's believed that that non-stop praise and worship continued on that one spot for over 300 years, which is an absolutely incredible thing. Now, of course, this wasn't totally new, because way back in the Old Testament, King David set up the singers in courses or shifts in the temple, and they worshipped God in the temple 24/7 round the clock. And later on, the Moravians would do a similar thing, of course, in Europe. But certainly Columbanus plays a key role in the whole understanding of 24/7 prayer and non-stop prayer. And it was a vital part of what was called the rule of Columbanus that he established not just in Bangor, but in other places where he went, because he travelled to so many different places as a missionary. He went to Gaul, to modern-day France, and then into the Alps in different times. He went in what is modern-day Germany, Switzerland, and Austria, and then he ended up in Lombardy, the northern Italy, round about Milan and those kind of places. And he really is seen as being a prototype of Irish missionaries. That there was a time whenever Irish missionaries went out taking the gospel, and not just that, but re-establishing learning itself and education across Europe whenever Viking invasions had almost wiped out civilization. In fact, there is a well-known history book called How the Irish Saved Civilization. There's no doubt that Columbanus played a major role in that. So he was the missionary prototype. The other Irish missionaries that went out from Ireland taking the gospel across Europe were really following in Columbanus's footsteps. And he also shared the idea that Patrick had of Ireland being this little nation right on the edge of the world, because a lot of people at that time still believed the earth was flat, and that if you went too far you'd sail off the edge, and they thought that Ireland was pretty well as far west as you could go. And he did describe the Irish. He said, "We are the inhabitants of the world's edge." And so he is remembered for that missionary outreach, but also for establishing the 24/7 prayer and praise. And today I believe that is a heritage that Irish Christians can still walk in. And you, even if you're not from Ireland, even if you're watching this or listening to this from some other part of the world, I would encourage you, make mission part of your life, sharing the gospel with others, doing what you can to equip and send people to travel around the world if necessary, to tell people about Jesus Christ, to welcome people coming from other places in the world and telling them about Jesus Christ, and also to be a person of prayer and praise. Today there is 24/7 prayer going on around the world and in Ireland. People praying round the clock, and you can play your part in that as well. So I would encourage you, be a person of mission, be a person of outreach, be a person of prayer and praise. This is now in the DNA of the Irish Church because of people like Columbanus. And today I want to remember him and give glory to God for what he has done through the Celtic Church in Ireland and what God will do again through the Church of Jesus Christ in Ireland. God bless you today, and join us again tomorrow for another Take 5, your 5-minute inspirational message from Solid Rock Drogheda.